Yep.
It's that guy right here, hey?
Are you going to go for the one on the left or the right?
I think they're one piece attached.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I might try grip force 4 and then...
If so, then it might be good before you pick it up. I didn't feel like that last zoom got the whole piece. And it would be good to get that zoom in with lasers before we disturb it.
Yeah, it's kind of obscured by the T-bar there.
Yeah.
I'm going to super nerd out on you guys right now. Somebody was asking about the carbon tied up associated with the whale fall and the amount that amount of carbon that is tied up in a single whale carcass. About 2 metric tons of carbon for a typical 40-ton carcass is roughly
Did
equivalent.
you get some stills of that? Okay, we're good on the stills. Thank you.
All right, full wide.
Sure.
So that's equivalent to the amount of carbon
I'll just leave it there.
exported to an hectare of an abyssal ocean floor in 100 to 200 years. The amount of organic matter reaching the seafloor at one time creates a pulse equivalent to about 2,000 years of background carbon flux in the 50 square meters of sediment immediately beneath the whale fall. In science speak, that's gnarly.
I'm on grip force 3 right now.
Do we have a calculation on how long this whale is?
I don't know if the watch before us was able to get an approximation. That information wasn't passed along to us, but maybe they're listening in the lounge.
Amanda.
Or
If someone wanted to do a back of the envelope calculation, the octopuses are about the size of a bocce ball, or what were you comparing it to earlier? A melon?
a pomelo.
A pomelo?
I think they're a little bigger than a bocce, but yeah, maybe a little smaller than a pomelo. But also,
Small watermelon.
what's the width of Hercules? And then people could look in the Argus view and maybe do a rough approximation there.
All right, Nautilus Live Nation, there is your
Oh, there are 2
math
pieces.
quiz for the day.
Sorry. I thought that was one piece.
Is it 2 pieces?
I thought it was 2, but then when you were going, then I thought I was wrong, but it is 2.
Okay, so we're going for the one on the right?
Yeah, one on the right.
Okay.
Oh, it's
No,
1.
it's 1.
Yeah.
Oh. Let's see.
2, it's 1, it's low grip force, so it...
Yeah, it looks like it has worms on it.
Well, we'll see if they stick to
Oh,
it.
right.
It might be growing over it, but I don't know if they're in it.
A shout out to the Channel Islands National Marine Sanctuary, and the superintendent there, Chris Mobley, is listening in live right now.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Glad you're with us.
I want my grip force.
Last time I saw whale fall was on the Nautilus and Channel Islands National Marine Sanctuary.
Video, and push in a bit there, please. That's good. Thank you.
That one was older than this one. It didn't have as much, it didn't have any of these large scavengers associated with it.
How do we, is there a way to estimate how recent this whale fall is?
Well, I was looking back through the science chat. Crispin Little is in there, has been offering quite a lot of good information. And he was estimating, based on the amount of tissue that's still on this whale, that it's probably only a couple months old.
Okay.
Hey, Jennifer, I just got a shout out from Claire Fackler as well.
Hey, Claire.
Hey, Claire.
Claire's with the Education Program of the Office of National Marine Sanctuaries. Hopefully she's blasting this out and getting people watching this science
Forward,
happening in one of the sister sanctuaries.
Chad, I am the science king, estimated the whale at about 5 meters.
So you get a zoom on this guy real quick. Go ahead and push on in their video.
We have the U.S. Marine Mammal Commission on with us as well.
Are those going to be enough of those red tube worms, or should we still
Imagine
Well, and
this
I
is a
don't know
very
if-
exciting time for you.
I'm not sure those tube worms are the ones that actually burrow into the bone. So, and we don't know, can't tell if they'll really stay with it. But we can do, I think we should definitely try and keep those worms
do a
with this
suction
sample.
as well?
And then see if we come across another bone that has the worms attached, or try and do some suction sampling.
Oops.
Thanks for that rotation.
It's
It
beautiful.
helps us to really get a good view of this.
Are there two different types of worms on here? Or no, okay, some of them are out of the tube and some of them are just...
Well, it definitely seems like around this whale fall there are some different kinds of
Yeah, they kind of look like they're just on it, don't they?
yeah, they might just be resting on it. And then there's some in the sediments, so these might be the ones that we're seeing surrounding it in the sediments. That's great. Okay, where do
Okay.
we want this one to go?
we can put it in forward by a box lambda. It's empty.
Or lambda, Roger. Go ahead and come wide there, video. Oh, did you guys want one with the lasers on it? Sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's
Oh,
a good
yeah.
idea. Thank you.
All right, go ahead and push on in again. A little wider there, video. There you go.
There we go.
Sorry.
Perfect. Thank you.
Oh, that's a little bone.
Everybody, let's give a shout out to St. Stanislaus High School.
Hello, St. Stanislaus High School.
Having a whale of a time here.
All right, so Crispin Little's thanking us for this collection, saying those are not Osidax and definitely worth collecting.
Just confirm there's
Great.
nothing floaty in the front in this tool tray.
No, there's just a rock.
Okay. Tool tray out.
Roger.
And
And then an anemone.
Mon ami.
Oh, there's something in lamb. Is that a probe?
Whoa.
That's your little
Hello,
funnel is
beautiful.
in there.
oh, so
Okay, well we can do
it said
starboard.
anemone on rock. I saw
Yeah.
here.
We can do starboard E since there's something in lambda.
Yeah, we can put this in E and then we can take that out after if you want to make more room.
Okay, yeah,
Stick
That
that,
sounds
somewhere
good.
else.
we'll just starboard. Is it small enough to go in one of the smaller boxes, you think? Like A, B, C, or D?
I think so.
I think so.
Okay,
Yeah.
and maybe we could do starboard A.
Starboard A, Roger.
Thank you for this amazing discovery and greetings from the Brazilian Humpback Whale Project in Bahia, northeastern Brazil. Currently working on enhancing public knowledge about the key role of whales in ocean ecosystems. Jose Palazzo, the institutional
Here's
development
your
officer there, says
bubble
this is
cam,
an
Jess.
valuable
Yeah, thank you.
educational stuff. Thank you, Jose.
All right, switching the cameras.
Roger.
The Monterey Bay National Marine Sanctuary
Oh,
Exploration
right.
Center, shout out. They just had 30 fourth graders watching the feed as
box
we came
out.
across this whale.
Oh, that's great. How exciting. That Exploration Center is in Santa Cruz, California, down by the boardwalk. If you're ever in Santa Cruz, you should stop by and check it out.
This is cool. We're getting a really neat view of all the different storage areas that
I'm gonna kill that.
Hercules has on him
Sure.
that you can't necessarily tell by looking at him. Like this drawer with 6 places to put biological, geological, and I guess those are the 2 types of samples you're probably going to put in the boxes.
And ironic how we see all of the different types of biological storage units and the diversity associated with the whale as well.
Sorry. No, no, no.
Yep, they're there.
Hey,
Oh, that's
some
fine.
particles went into B. Sorry.
We can just put it into B because I see the bone is still kind of...
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just a
Yeah.
little bit of it went into A as well. So
Okay, okay.
Like some of the worm stuff fell off into A.
Into A. Okay, we'll just do A and B for this one then.
Sorry, guys.
No worries.
We're gonna
I just
yes.
try and knock it in there, Jess.
Okay.
shout out to the National Marine
Caitlin Graff
Sanctuary in
just reached out
American
to you.
Samoa. Do we have any idea, did we positively ID this as a gray whale?
I think they said baleen.
No, I think we're waiting on ID.
All right.
Oh, you.
I'm hearing through the science chat that Michael Carver at Channel Islands National Marine Sanctuaries put out a note to
Okay, so
the Marine
I'm-
Mammal Center and some other organizations to asking them to tune in and maybe they can assist and confirm the ID of this whale.
That's sample 23. 023, yes.
It's really pretty awesome how the teamwork to try to identify what's going on here extends way beyond the ship personnel.
Yeah, but there's a strong suspicion that this could be a gray whale or a small minke whale, something like that.
What makes you guys think that?
Well, there are a lot of gray whales that have been traveling up and down the coast, and this year there was a significant mortality event of gray whales, so there were definitely animals that were
Cycle
in
through those
low
two gauges.
condition, low body condition, and dying and washing ashore, and some, of course, wouldn't have made it washed ashore, but would have sunk. So that definitely could be a reason. They're also looking at the size; it's on the smaller side for a baleen whale.
Great, thank you.
Just so you guys know, we have the National Science Foundation on board from Alexandria, Virginia.
Okay, is there anything else in front of us? That's
We
useful?
can do, if you want to hold up the T, actually, is the TDO probe, let me see if this is recording. Yeah, if you want to hold up the TDO probe, and then we can do 2 squeezers. We're downstream of the whale.
TDO probe, the yellow blue handle.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably will read the same it does in the holster, but.
You want to probe it somewhere from where we're sitting?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't want to poke the whale at all because I don't want to get it on the samplers.
All right.
Okay.
Is it
That light on?
recording though?
Force 9.
Yeah. Okay.
It looks like it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Jessica, or Jess.
Let me see myself in bubble here real quick.
So are we going to try with a bone that has the worms on them?
We're going to keep looking for a bone that has the
Kind of
the
stick
red
it down
bone
into
on
that
the
area
axis.
that you
Right.
collected the bone from, just like in that general vicinity.
Sure.
Thanks.
Try and get that back in the T slot, or is the jaw too long?
Is the T-slot about where the pinchers kind of rotate together?
Yeah.
Okay.
Be great if you could get it in there. But I don't know if that T is actually long enough.
I can't see. Can try. I'll try it here and then
Yeah.
see.
Our
if-
temperature
yeah,
at
we'll
this spot is
see.
about 0.2 degrees warmer
Grip force 9.
Yeah, grip force 9.
than it was an hour ago.
Okay.
What is this down on?
It should have a tie wrap on it. There you go.
Oh, I
That's
see.
okay. We all get confused. Thank you for correcting
Oh,
it.
whoops, I didn't do that over. So Michael Carver is with Cordell Bank National Marine Sanctuary, not Channel Islands. There are a number of Michaels, and I got them mixed up in my head. So Caitlin, thank you for correcting me on that one. The other people Caitlin reached out to are with the California Academy of Sciences and the Point Reyes National Seashore. So hopefully they can all join in
Yeah,
here.
that handle's not long enough.
Hey guys, can we get
Oh.
a
What's
shout
going
out?
on back there?
More
There's some,
octopus
I know the octopus
Two
are
males?
fighting.
fighting
Yeah.
over there.
Great.
Now they seem to like our temperature and oxygen probes, like to hold on to them. So let's stay clear of the octopus.
I know, they're right where we want to be too. Get out of there.
So we had somebody
Okay, so
ask
how
if
do you
there
have
is
this
a
angled?
count on the number of octopus.
Annie?
Oh, excuse me.
So
Yeah, that's good.
somewhere around here, is that good for you?
Yep.
Great.
This
And then
camera
if
all
you
the way
just want
over.
to do the squeezer in the same general vicinity.
Okay, so is it, just want to confirm, is it 1.9?
Yep.
The temperature and
116.
116, yeah.
Yep. So just like background, as expected.
I will see if we can find that out from our science team. However, Nautilus Live Nation, your citizen science chore for the day is to see if you can count the number of octopus here, and we'll see if it agrees with our science.
Sorry, pilots, are you waiting on me? That's great for the TDO.
Oh, okay. Anywhere else you want to probe around here?
I mean, no. I think just getting a general vicinity before we Do
Is
the
this where you're
collection.
going to do the water collection? Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to get too close to the fall.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead and you full wide their video.
Typically, these samplers were reserved for the discharging fluid that we're looking for, but because we're pretty far into this last dive and we still haven't used any of the squeezers, we're going to take the opportunity to sample some of this fluid around the whale fall.
So I want to do this.
So our scientists have put calls out to people in the community who may want samples from this whale. So this is a great opportunity for people who study this sort of thing to opportunistically receive material.
I believe those are whale-phologists, yes?
Whale-phologist.
Making up words on the fly.
Yeah.
Your
that's-
bubble cam in so you can see. And rotate the jaw so it's like in the orientation it was when you took it out.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about which way I want to do the cable up there. I think this way would be best, right?
Pilots,
Just
don't worry about using the
rotate
funnel.
Counter it the other way.
So
Yeah. And you'll uncoil it. Yep, keep going.
I'm thinking all the way around like this. I see.
Yeah.
While some of our viewers are counting octopus, they can also try and determine how many males versus females they see. If they can see that third arm on the right-hand side of the animal, and if it's modified to have a hectocotylus, then it's a male. I can see one.
There's an octopus. Is that an octopus floating by? We're looking down.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
see the shadow. That's
Yeah, in
really
the
cool.
That's on the
view.
Argus view,
Yeah.
yes, right.
Just
Very cool.
aerial survey.
We got a 4-year-old named Toby Walker in the UK that has stayed way up past his nap time to check this out. Everybody, can we give Toby a shout out?
Hey,
Hi,
hi,
Toby.
Toby.
Good
Thanks for
excuse.
watching. Yeah, absolutely.
This is the
Science-
stuff dreams are
And-
made of.
And actually, thanks to Mom, or
Yeah.
actually, thanks to Mum for allowing you to stay up.
Or Daddy.
That's right.
Her daddy.
We don't know which
Papa.
parent
That's
it-
great.
But you know, science is important enough to delay a nap. We agree.
Says he plans to be both an entomologist and marine biologist.
Wow.
All right.
You know, there are marine insects, so you can do it both.
Someone said they've counted 9 octopus so far. Of course, there are probably octopus coming and going, but at any given time.
Uh-huh. All right. All right.
Science, do you have any way of guessing how old the carcass is?
Well, some of the expert ashore are saying that because there's still quite a bit of fleshy tissue on the skeleton, it's likely only a few months old. Which also makes me wonder if it's associated with this mortality event of gray whales,
Uh-huh.
if it's a gray whale.
So we're going with a squeeze sampler in the same location?
Yes, please.
All right.
And duplicate if possible, because we have a many of them.
Roger.
Someone
I do not
wanted-
care what number, whatever is easiest for you to grab.
And Jen, do we know anything about what caused the mortality event?
Well, it was the animals had low body condition, so it seemed like they were not able to eat enough food, and it it definitely was related, seemed to that, the availability of resources to bulk up and grow that blubber.
And that happens mostly in
On a
Alaska
bungee.
in the summertime, is that right? Spring and summer?
All right, so which one do you guys want?
Or
You
do
said
they?
anyone?
that
Yeah,
they-
anyone
they
that's
feed
easiest for you to
the
grab.
gray whales.
Oh, they feed, yes.
You guys said 6 is
in
the one
Alaska
that
and the
was
Bering
issue
Sea.
last time, right?
So you won't be able to tell. The bottoms got repaired with the tops when I had to change the plug on one
I
on
see.
4 after it got stuck.
Let me look over here a little bit.
In order to get the sample out, the samplers actually come apart, so that trigger part comes across from the plunger on the bottom.
All right, we've got whale-phologists here. Greg Rouse from
Nice.
Scripps.
Great.
And Shauna Goffretti from Occidental College
Actually, let's go for
would
this.
love some Osedax samples. We've been studying them for 15 years now, and still there are many unanswered questions, especially regarding the primary and secondary bacterial symbionts that enable their
Video, can we
unusual
open up
nutrition.
the iris a bit on the Hercules?
Well, it would be, thank you for writing in
Good,
and telling
thanks.
us what you'd like. It'd be great to know if you need individual samples, so we should take multiples, and how best to collect them for you.
They did say they would like them in ethanol.
Mm-hmm.
And I do know that Shauna Gaffretti is a gaucho, so shout out to the gauchos. Someone counted 13 octopus on and around the carcass.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Well, let me see what they wrote.
Come on.
Oh, that's an accidental fire. But
Oh,
you know that
sorry.
sample will probably be just fine because we're in the general vicinity.
No, sorry, I was on 9.
Do you want me to consider that a full sample?
Yep, consider that a sample because it's in the vicinity. We'd like another one if you can, though.
Sorry about that. I had my grip force up.
It's okay. It's actually reassuring to see that it works. These, in particular sampling devices, can be a little finicky.
So that was,
That was 0.
yeah, and that was sample 24. Now we're going to do sample 25.
Thanks, Bunzet. 024.
Yes.
Get my fingers a little bit here. Alright. And that should be in. Let's try it out. Somewhere around here again?
Yeah, right where you had the TO probe is just great.
So if you're just,
And is
Thank
there
you.
a specific, how high off you want the ground?
Closer to the ground is better. Like, pointing towards the whale fall if you can rotate your wrist, like 70 degrees maybe.
Out here?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, sure. Alright, am I clear to fire?
Perfect.
Roger. Okay, thank you. All right, I'm on grit force 9 right now.
Yep, it might not fire. That this plunger was the plunger that had the issue before.
Roger.
Yeah, it didn't fire last one. So I think you had like a. That's fine. I don't think it's gonna work. If you maybe want to try a third one if we have the time.
Sure.
So this probably doesn't have any.
Was there any tricks that you had, Mike?
No,
for
I don't.
firing?
I count this as a misfire, or no, I guess a no fire.
Okay.
All right.
Greg and Shauna, we are trying to get in contact with you via the internet to discuss some of your science questions.
Thanks, Jess. You can give up on this.
All right.
Are we gonna try for another one or?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if Greg or Shauna signed up for the Scientist to Shore program, but if they have and could go into the science chat room, then we can directly communicate back and forth. That would be great.
Chad is also trying to reach them directly.
Okay, so also you could try to reach Chad King. But we've seen your request for these Osidax worms, and we'll get to work on that after we get some of these squeeze samples.
Jennifer, can you talk a little bit more about the species that we're seeing here and the role they play?
Surrounding this whale fall?
Yeah.
Well, so some of the larger animals that we're seeing, the fish and the octopus, we also at times have seen little crab. They're scavenging the flesh off of this skeleton. So as we've said, it's a pretty new whale fall. It still has a lot of organs and blubber and flesh attached. So these animals have discovered it and are removing big chunks of that meat. It's just a little whale party for them, you know, to have arrived here and can fill up on all this energy that came to the seafloor with this whale. And then surrounding it on the bones and in the sediments, we're seeing a bunch of different kinds of worms that can use energy from a lot of it is the oil and fat that's inside the bones, and some of that is probably leaked into the sediments. And they're going to now be forming kind of the base of this localized food web here.
That's great, thanks.
And I think on the previous watch, Amanda was talking about how some of the worms are specialized in eating bones and absorbing the nutrients and lipids out of the marrow of the bones.
Yeah, so this Osidax doesn't actually have a mouth or a gut. It's absorbing the chemistry and turning it into energy that they can then use to build body tissues and things like that.
And it's those Osidax worms that Greg Rouse is specifically interested in, and the bacterial symbionts in those worms.
Very cool. We're getting a lot of questions here about the whale specifically. The great thing about Nautilus is that we are doing exploration. We're going where no one's gone before, and Hercules has a limited amount of space, so it's always very challenging. You know, how do you pack for the
I was on 2.
For the unexpected?
Jessica, that's fine. So those 2 samples will count, and we have the TDO from that area.
All right.
So thank you for that.
Sure.
All right,
great.
so we've got our 2 squeezers.
We have 0 and 4, and 3 was a non-fire.
So while we can collect some data, one of the things that we're doing is collecting a lot of samples, as many as we can, to send back to labs to tell us more about this this whale fall that we're seeing. So determining what might be the cause of death, getting a clear
Do we want to do it in the same spot?
idea of what species it is.
Do we want to do our Niskin or core right here? Or you wanna-
You're reading our minds. We were
Yeah.
just confirming back
Yeah.
here that, yeah, we wanted to next to fire a
Do
Niskin.
Niskin.
Okay.
And we have Niskin 8. 8
Roger.
through 11 is available.
Can you just check those 2 gauges first before we go in there?
Ah. 1.5.
Okay.
So Crispin Little just wrote in that the oxygen content of the surrounding seawater will be interesting to measure, as there is some evidence to suggest that whale falls degrade more quickly in areas with good oxygen content compared to areas of reduced oxygen.
I'm going to ask him what level of oxygen he would expect, or how close we need to get to the whale fall to measure those oxygen levels.
Video, want to open up the iris there? Thank you. Any number you guys want?
8 would be great.
8, roger.
So now we're gonna
Can we switch over the cameras there, Mike?
pull the
Can we switch
loop.
over the cameras to see the Niskins?
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, it's good.
I'm going to pull the loop associated with the number 8 here, and that will close a Niskin bottle 8 and capture a sample of water.
So if you guys are just joining us, we have come across a whale fall on the last watch here in Monterey Bay National
ready?
Marine Sanctuary near the Davidson Seamount southeast apron.
What sample ID was that?
26, so 026.
Anything else we want to do here?
Dane, do you want to push core here?
Sure, yeah, this would be perfect. An area, and this is not going to be for me to analyze, but I think any place in there with those worms, I think would be amazing.
Great.
Okay, box out.
So scientific community out there, if you're interested in obtaining core samples of sediments right around a whale fall, let us know.
So imagine if you closed your eyes and somebody drove you out to the desert and gave you a flashlight
Yeah.
and then turned their lights off and said, go explore the desert.
Right.
That's basically what we're doing. Our Argus has a light and Hercules has a light, and
So-
we just start going along.
Guys,
And-
number 1 has been used.
Oh, okay.
Roger.
Yes. Oh yeah, sorry about
And
that.
all the other ones are good?
I believe so.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sure, thank you.
Sorry, I was just like finishing logging all of this.
No.
Oh, yeah. No worries.
So you're just walking in the middle of the night.
So was
in
that
the-
sample 022?
So we can go for the one that's second then.
The push
That's
core?
correct.
Correct.
The first push core, was that sample 022?
020.
020, okay.
So this one's going to be 027.
Yeah, so you're walking through the desert with a flashlight, and all of a sudden you come upon a coyote carcass.
Yeah, right.
That's how we discovered this, basically. We had a map that was just created 2 years ago of this area. It had some
Okay.
interesting relief.
It's about the
To
angle
it.
that you were talking about before, eh, Mike? It's about the angle you were talking about before, I think, yeah?
Yeah, I like taking them like that.
Yeah,
Something like that.
nice job.
So we had a predetermined course on this based on some waypoints based on those interesting relief areas. Oh, look at those octopus going at it there.
Come on.
Thwap.
Can we get a zoom on that?
Okay, change the cameras.
Oh,
let's do
All right, you guys, I'm going to jump off here and turn it over to Danny Bailey for a little while. I have to go interact with Harding University Partner School in Santa Barbara, California.
Yeah.
this. Thanks, Scott. Do we have that porch light on?
No.
So we're taking
Yeah,
a
it is on.
A core.
push core right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. Do you think we're going to be able to collect some of those tube worms in the
Well,
top of it?
I hope, yes, they
Yes,
will
we
be.
should.
Yeah, they'll be in the top of the core.
We had some comments on that. So yes, cores around the skeleton are very important. The tube worms will be in some, and there may be some interesting infaunal animals making use of the reducing conditions in close vicinity of the skeleton.
Great. So what sort of interest do we have? Should we take multiple cores is the question.
I think that sounds like a good idea.
Yep.
So it sounds like we should try and get fairly close to the skeleton in an area with visible worms.
Yep.
Okay.
That's where we are, right?
Yeah,
Yes, we
but
Yes.
you know, not say closer to the whale than closer to the porch.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe near that.
Closer to the whale instead of close
There
to
you
the
go.
porch.
Do we
Yes.
want to take
That's
them
what I
like a different
Different
Yeah,
distances
distances? Yeah, like around the whale.
or different locations?
Maybe
Like-
different
Like,
locations.
yeah, that's
I'm
what I
thinking.
meant. Like
yeah,
further
Well, so
Yeah.
towards the tail.
yeah,
or-
because I do want to then move and look for other bone fragments, or whether or not we need to try and break off a piece of bone that has the ossidax. One suggestion was to try and break off a portion of a rib.
Yeah, those really ones with all that nice worms up top of the screen.
So would cores at different distances from the
Okay.
whale fall be
So
of
it
value?
said, fauna in the sediment surrounding the skeleton referred to as enrichment community, often short-lived in time, so really important to core around the skeleton.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so is there a certain distance you want from this, by the skull here?
I think if we can
Get
get up
in a
along the
little bit
jaw
closer, yeah,
there,
right.
that'd be great.
Right under the jaw.
Somewhere around,
A little closer if you can.
sure.
Perfect. I think.
I think that looks good.
Yep.
About there?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me just look up, make sure I'm getting my good angle. All right. That's
Slow but steady.
quite feels pretty clayey,
Yeah.
moving the vehicle.
Pretty compacted
Really?
stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty stiff. I'm exerting a good amount of pressure on this.
It's still
It's going in though.
moving a little.
Yeah, little by little.
Do you want me to zoom in?
Look at those two octopuses
Sure,
again
actually, go ahead and
interacting.
zoom on in there a bit. That's good. Is that all the way you can look to the
Yeah.
right there?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Go ahead and come full wide video.
Oh, we got a little
Oh, I
octopus
hope
friend.
that.
Yeah,
Just
watch
stay-
it. You're
stay down
dragging us
there.
into the.
Letting go.
Oops.
Sorry about that, Mike.
It's all right.
Do the fish rest?
Yes, fish do rest.
Okay.
So how many total cores? We have 4 left, right? Including this one?
Yes.
Yes.
So there are
Well,
5 on
yeah.
the. Okay.
5
Yeah.
on the
There's a total
vehicle,
of
and
5.
1 is already spent.
Yep.
So, so what I'm hearing is from Crispin Little is doing cores away from the skeleton, and then close to it will test the extent of the influence of the whale's soft tissue on the local area. So I think we should.
Do like a transect away from
Yep.
it?
Well, I think
Yep.
maybe it would be good to do 2 in
Two
two
close.
in 2 locations.
Okay.
Yep.
So a,
Okay.
a near far and a near far.
Okay. Although, yeah. So you'll get, from that you'll get either, well, there's still an effect this far out, or there's no effect this far out.
So science question.
Yeah.
This core has about maybe halfway full, maybe a little bit less, but it seems like we're hitting up against some harder clay material.
Okay.
It was enough to push us off.
Yeah, Dean, do you think it'll stay in there?
Yeah, I think it'll stay in there. So if it doesn't, then we know. But
I think a lot of the influence of this whale fall will be in the upper portions.
We can't
of the
push it in
sediment,
any
so
further,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So all we can do is try.
Yeah.
Right. So are you guys okay with us recovering the
Yes,
sample
yeah,
as
absolutely,
is?
Yes.
absolutely. And obviously, and I know you will, Jessica, with minimal disturbance and shaking.
Minimal disturbance. Roger that. I'll try
This is where
to
one of those
be a minimalist here.
periscopes would be sweet
You
to
got
stick
this.
inside the whale.
Yeah. Right.
Just a little camera and light on the end.
Right, like laparoscopic examination.
Let me know if you want me to zoom you out on Argus there.
It would be real
Mike.
unfortunate if you got caught on something, though.
It would.
Really screw up your science.
Go for that.
All
That's
right.
a good, I think,
Thank you.
yeah.
While they're doing that, this is Danny. I'm filling in for Scott for a few minutes while he has a ship-to-shore interaction. And guys, I don't think I can get the excitement out of my body. This is so
She's quivering.
cool. I literally am shaking. I just did another interaction with my school in Mississippi, and I couldn't sit still. This is just such a wonderful opportunity to see a whale fall, and I think it's amazing. And you know, if we just happen to pick up one of those little bones and it is on the front porch for a bit, you know,
It's like right underneath this furry bit.
I wouldn't say no. I would love to study a whale bone. I'm sure there's a strong smell to it. Have we thought about looking at the baleen at all? We know it's keratin. I don't know if it would maintain a lot of DNA, but you could certainly get some cool microbial stuff off of it.
So this is Chad back on the chart. Mike, I've been in touch with Dr. Greg Rouse from Scripps, who's worked with Ryan Hook at Mbari. And it looks like it could be Ossidex rubiplumus, he thinks it is. And him and Shannon Gottfried from Occidental College would love samples of the Ossidex. It could be problematic because it's hard to get them out of the bone. The other worms growing outside of the bones, not in bone, are another type of polychaete worm, and they wouldn't mind having samples of that too.
So I think we got some of those already when we picked up that one piece of bone, and they were over it and have fallen into one of the bio boxes.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
But we could probably, and there might be some in this core here
In
as
this
well.
core.
But we can try to get more if you'd like. You think?
It looks like it'll stay in there anyway.
Ooh.
Oh, it's getting stuck.
Can we get that
I was in
sample?
and out. What
Y'all
kind
in,
of bone
Jess?
do you think it was
Y'all left?
that you got?
It was a small, it was a pretty small
Thanks, Mike.
bone, maybe part of the extremities.
Very good. Yeah, they definitely want to sequence the Ossidex.
And do you want to get a zoom on the baleen?
I think
let
they
me
got some
give
zooms
that a
on it
second here.
before.
Hold on.
Okay.
Sure.
So, Chad.
Yeah.
For these worms, one suggestion that I got in the science chat was
Alright,
maybe trying to
that's
break
not a lot
off
of help.
the end of a rib. So we can try to do that.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know
no,
how easy that will be.
Anything that the crew here thinks is possible.
Yeah, we can have a go at trying to get a rib off for sure.
If we can't find something loose that has obviously has
Yeah,
them.
anything that's small, thin, and breakable with the worms on it would be adequate.
So I see lots of your questions coming in, but our scientists are also getting a lot done, so I will try to answer a few of them as we go along. For those of you who are curious how big this
Can't
might
see anything
be,
in that camera, huh?
for a sense of scale, the
It's hard to see
lasers
anything in
that
that
are
camera.
kind of above
They're not very
and
good.
around
The
that octopus
light
right
is
in
too
the
hot.
middle, those two lasers are 10 centimeters apart. So that's about 4 inches.
So we
So
can do this
This is a
next
very
after we get the
large
second core.
whale, but on
feel
whale
like I'm up in the bar
scale,
a bit
it is
there.
a small whale.
Come
You
on.
could wrist rotate clockwise a tiny, tiny bit.
Bad angle at it. Yeah, you're right.
What's the diameter of our core?
About 2.5, 3 inches? Not sure exactly.
Yeah, it's about that much.
2 inches?
2 maybe.
Yeah.
2 inches? Good to know.
But we can measure it later today or whenever we recover.
Oh, perfect. There's lots of concerns about the octopus battling. Guys, this is a really good source of food. So these guys are going to put up a little bit of fight to make sure that they are getting what they think is their share of food. So
that
if
should
you
be good
see
for staying in there.
octopus communication, battling, whatever it might be, it's normal, natural, and
Hey, pilots, at your
Okay.
convenience, could you guys power cycle the TDO, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
Nice job, Jess.
Nice work. Nav, that was sample 027.
Thanks, Pengsu.
All right.
Okay, it's cycled. Back on.
Thank you.
Has its love tap. All right, is that, do you guys want another sample here?
We're going to take another one a little further out from that same spot.
Okay.
Please.
Oh, from
up
where
the
the
shore.
vehicle's
Yeah.
currently
This
situated?
would be
Yes.
one, a minimum of 2 meters away. Is that what we're looking for?
Yeah, so we'll do 2 pair. If I understand correctly, we're going to do 2 pairs
Okay.
of cores.
All right.
Each a different distance from the whale fall itself.
I am no octopus expert, but I feel like these octopus are gorging themselves. They look very round to me.
Most octopuses look pretty round.
Yeah,
Well, you
they're
know
not
what
all
I mean.
stomach.
No, they might be right now, though. Wow.
It's too far. All right. Does it look in there to you? Think so, right? Maybe.
So what's the reach on that manipulator?
No.
No.
That answers my question, doesn't it?
The reach, straight out in front, probably what?
Push
4
go
feet?
2. Yeah, and
4
that's
feet. Okay.
4 foot, 4
sample
something.
27.
4 and some change.
And then 8. And it's
But of
push
course it
forward
depends.
3.
That's straight out, right? If you're, depends on the orientation of it, obviously. Usually whatever you're doing, you don't get the full extension.
So Annie and Jen,
Yes.
do we want this while they're sitting here stable? Do we want this one to be another close one?
I don't think so. I was thinking, but this is just what I was thinking, that we would do, we have one close here on this side and do one now at far. So 2+ meters away, and then maybe
like
on the other.
perpendicular line from it.
Yeah,
so
away
we
from
need
the
to
whale,
move back,
perpendicular,
right,
and then
move out a couple
maybe on the
meters.
other side of the whale.
Do the same thing on the other side, yeah. Of course, we don't know. So what's the current like down there, guys? Are you going to be able to nose in on the other side?
Yeah, it seems fine. The current seems really almost non-existent. I'll get a better sense when I look up. But this core, do we want it on this side, just backed off a bit?
Yes,
That's
2
fine.
meters.
Yeah,
So
2
just
meters.
kind of
2
straight,
meters,
straight back?
Back from the whale, perpendicular about 2 or more meters
Oh,
from
wait.
the whale.
No, 2 or less meters.
So what?
Oh,
Right? I say a
No.
minimum of 2 meters away. Oh,
No,
yeah.
minimum
okay.
of 2
minimum.
meters.
Yeah.
2 meters away.
Okay.
If you want to back up, then I don't have to worry about hitting this guy as I come over.
Hi,
I can hold off here if you
Yashira.
want.
I'm so glad you're
What do you want,
tuning
Jess?
in.
Oh, I was thinking maybe I could hold off here so I don't have to.
Just bring it
Right.
in, bring it in and throw it over the porch.
Okay.
Keep it all in view.
We do not yet know what species of whale this is. We've got scientists all over the world helping us figure it out. We did just come across this whale. It was not a controlled fall. We didn't know it was here. It was a surprise to everyone. On the octopus, are the octopus we have been
that'll do.
studying, so they look like Musoctopus robustus.
actually, I think on the earlier shift, Amanda was able to get the whale identification down to either a gray whale or a relative thereof, or what was the other one? I can't remember.
Is it a mink?
Baleen?
It was a,
Oh,
well, they're all,
Rourke.
yes, Rorqual.
Yes.
Exactly.
Rorqual,
That's what
yeah.
it
So
was.
we've got 2 options, or that's what we're working on at the moment.
A little bit further.
So it should
But
be
some of these
one of
samples that
those.
we're collecting
So it's
hopefully
a
can
big
be
group.
analyzed for
Nice.
a DNA to try to identify
absolutely
the whale. And so that kind of science and analysis is something that will happen after the cruise.
Right.
And then we'll let you guys know. Don't worry. I'm sure we'll have lots of information to share once we figure out who our
Might
whale
have to
friend
put it over
was.
there.
There are folks who are looking right now at the imagery that we're capturing of the baleen, the jaws, etc.
So I don't think that's 2 meters.
No, you want to go back further?
Yes.
Okay.
So you think that Hercules is how many meters? 2.5 meters long? I think that's
that
looking
looks
good.
good.
Like it?
Yep.
We'll let all that clear.
Dane, is your pump still on?
No, it's not.
No.
Thanks, Justin. Yeah. It ended about 2:30 this morning.
Roger. Oh, that was on our shift.
Yeah, we turned it off.
Cool. I'd be curious to see if it says clay.
Yeah, it's out here further. Yep.
I mean,
Oh,
you
wait, for
probably suspect it would be because
Yep.
before the whale came, this environment would have just been a flat area for
Yep.
sediment to settle.
Yep.
And typically the sediment that settles this deep is very fine clay.
So science, we probably should wait for Viz to see what we're stabbing
Okay, yes.
beforehand. But is there any spots that you'd want to see, like any clusters of worms, etc., that we should aim for?
Well, Crispin's on line with us in the chat room, and he said that's a good distance away. So I think we're in a good location, and I agree that we want to clear it out so we get a good visual of where we're taking it, and see if we do have any of these worms still visible in the sediment here.
Okay.
Thank you.
While we were waiting, in camera 11, there was just a sea lion or a seal like jumping around the cable. It was pretty adorable.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was just like leaping up in the air. I don't know where he went. But something to watch in the meantime.
Thanks, Erin.
I think I have an important question for Rennie. What's your favorite sea creature? And if you think it might be eating a whale right now.
Wait, Rennie, you mean me?
You mean
The girl Rennie?
I don't know. I was just told to ask the question.
Rennie's not on watch.
Yeah,
I'm sorry
I didn't
to
think
disappoint them.
he was, but if you're out there.
Rennie, if you're out there, if you have a fan and they want to know.
They want to know these things. Don't disappoint them.
He could be in the data lab. If he hears us, well, he'll tune in.
Yeah.
All right. So.
So do we want to, we could take this core just off to the side too, away from our tracks.
Yeah, that's what
better.
I was just thinking.
Yeah.
If we can find an
Reach out
area
over
this
there.
distance, but a little less disturbed
Don't
by
have much
us,
to
that would
see,
be
but-
good.
So anywhere around here good for you guys?
Yeah, I think so. I want to just, let's look at the surface and see if we can, it looks like it's an undisturbed surface.
All right. Go ahead and zoom on in there a bit there. Probably won't be able to see too much. That's good.
Probably under where the core is right now would be appropriate.
Yeah.
All right. A little wide there, video.
Yeah, looks like our disturbance is
There.
not in that area.
Oh, he just, all right.
Okay, so it's just
Somewhere around here?
slightly angled instead of being perpendicular. Just, and that's okay.
Yeah. I don't think we want to be in this area where we turned up
Yeah.
the sediments.
So I'm clear to take it here then, science?
Yes, go ahead.
Great.
For all of those who are wondering, you can see those two green lasers. Those green lasers are 10 centimeters apart, or 4 inches apart. So we'll be able to measure the whale and the size of everything from some images later on, because we know the distance apart.
That's not a good angle for me.
Same thing, it's pretty,
Yeah.
pretty compacted.
Okay, well that works for us.
Looks like it's,
All right, that's a lot of downward force on this
Okay.
right
Yeah,
now.
no, that's
Is this
plenty.
good for you guys here?
Mhm.
Erin, what's the orientation the whale is laying?
Yeah, good question.
Well, Herc is facing 135, if that's correct. So perpendicular
east-west.
to that. Well,
Oops. Did it stay?
northeast,
Is that enough
southwest.
for you guys?
I would
Yeah,
say.
so the jaw
Science?
end is towards
Hold
the
on,
northeast.
yeah. I mean, I don't think I saw any fall out, so I
No.
think that's what we've got.
Yeah.
Okay, so
All right,
that's
Yeah.
good.
That's
Thank
enough?
you.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't hear the answer to the orientation question.
So her position they're heading is 126, and it's not quite perpendicular to that. So I don't know. Would you say like northeast, southwest kind of orientation?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we took this on the,
The head.
So you took this south of northeast.
huh?
So the whale's
yeah.
oriented this way.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So it's on the north side of the body.
My angle's no good.
So I think we took it like
North
here.
side.
Right, because of Herc's here facing 125. And this is perpendicular. This is
Yeah.
the jaw
And
end.
the jaw is on the
and
southwest
that's
side.
the tail, yeah. So this would be core 2, and then this would be core 3.
Sorry, 1 second, guys.
Yeah, that's useless. Can't see.
Here. We do that on
Yeah.
here.
Let's go like this instead. At least this is a slightly better angle.
Did you say it's more north of the previous sample?
Well, Erin said the
Yes.
Herc's orientation was 126.
So
Okay.
northwest of the
So
previous sample.
this would be core 2, and that would be core 3.
I'll zoom in on high pack too. You can get a feel. It's not
Okay.
perfect, but a feel for the reposition.
There you go, nice.
Yeah, this core is north,
Okay.
so northwest.
Okay. Then this was sample 028.
028, got it.